Good afternoon to everyone, and mahalo to all for joining us in Faces of Migration, a collection of migrant stories and agency tied to our community here in Hawaii. My name is Claudia Lara, and I am a current student in Ethnic Studies and Political Science here at the University of Hawaii at Mānoa. And today, through the power of storytelling, we're going to explore the many forms that migration takes here in our islands. While Hawaii is believed to be a multicultural paradise, it is this very misconception that prevents us from having real conversations about migrancy and the current struggles migrants face in our islands. Issues of immigration have also been greatly misinformed and racialized as Latino issues, and as an underrepresented population in our islands, it clouds us from acknowledging the fact that, according to the Pew Research Center, at least 3.1% of Hawaii's population is in fact undocumented. This means that 40,000 people in our community can't present proof of legal presence in the United States. It's because of this and many other issues surrounding migrancy that today our incredible panelists, Gabriella Andrade, Samuel Aguirre, Makarita Luwani, Mahe Vakauta, Jeff Aceto, and Nadine Ortega, are going to be exploring and breaking stereotypes of migration and guide us in an honest conversation about what motivates migration, who are our migrants in Hawaii, and how is the identity of the immigrant both enriched and threatened by the ever-evolving complexities of nationality, citizenship, and culture, both native and adopted. And if you guys could join me in giving them a round of applause and also presenting them with leis. Alrighty then, so we're going to begin with our first panelist, whose name is Gabriella Andrade, and she will go ahead and introduce herself.
Aloha. Like Claudia said, my name is Gabriella Andrade. I was born and lived the first 15 years of my life in Brazil. And because I was old enough when I left, I have a lot of memories of my childhood there. Mostly good memories, but also some pretty strong, scary memories. I come from a country where there is a lot of violence and a lot of poverty. One of my most vivid memories is watching a man put a gun to my dad's head. You know, I always say, you know, kids here are lucky that they go to bed fearing the boogeyman. I wasn't given that luxury. I would always talk about not wanting my parents to leave me at night because I was afraid of stray bullets. That's all we would hear about on the news, is people being killed by stray bullets. When I was 15, my family made the decision to move to America. A lot of people, there's a stereotype that immigrants come to this country to be a mooch or to depend on the system. My parents actually came here because they wanted us to grow up with the reference of working hard and earning your way. We have family members that were well off that could have supported us in our home country. We were living with my grandparents at the time, but that's not what my parents wanted us to grow up watching, right? They wanted us to know that you have to work hard and you have to, you just have to work hard for what you want. So we came, they made this really courageous decision to come to a country they didn't know, where they didn't speak the language and they didn't know anyone here, in order to give us a better opportunity and to give us a chance to have something or be someone, the chance that their country couldn't give them. So again, when I was 15, we moved to Texas, and I entered high school and led a pretty normal life. Didn't really think much about being undocumented and what that meant until I turned 18 and decided that I wanted to go to college, but I knew that I couldn't. There was no way that we could afford it. I had no papers. And so I had to kind of sit on the sidelines and watch my friends party their way through college while I had to sit back and clean houses with my 3.8 GPA. So it really plunged me into a really dark place. I was really depressed and really angry at my parents. I didn't understand why they came here. From a mind of a 15-year-old, I was convinced that the reason we moved here was because they were trying to ruin my life. And so it took me a long time to understand their decision. After living in Texas for a couple of years and sort of being stuck in this limbo of not knowing what my future held for me, knowing that I wanted more than what I had, but not knowing how I was going to get it, there was some anti-immigrant legislation being passed, and things were getting a little scary for me there. Actually, in the meantime, my parents had adjusted their status, and my siblings as well, because the system is broken. I wasn't able to do that. I was considered too old at 19 years old to petition through my parents. So my parents and I made the decision that I was going to come to Hawaii, where we thought it would be safer, where my sister lived. So I moved to Haleiwa on the North Shore of Oahu, and kind of really lived in hiding, just kind of doing my best to blend in, to not have a lot of attention drawn to me, until June in 2012, when I heard that the president made an announcement that there was an executive order. He was announcing this program called Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals, or DACA. This program allowed people like myself who came into this country as children to get a work permit and temporary relief from deportation. It was a hard decision to make, because we didn't know who was going to be the next president and whether that would put me at the top of the deportation list. But I thought, if there is even a tiny possibility that I can change the situation I'm in, then I'm going to take it. So I signed up for DACA. In that process, I became involved with a couple of immigration organizations on Oahu, specifically the Hawaii Coalition for Immigration Reform. And really, DACA just allowed me to go public with my story. And it allowed me to understand that I didn't do anything wrong. I didn't commit a crime. Why do I have to live in hiding? Why do I have to fear every day that the police is going to take me away from my family? It's not right. And I finally understood that. And I used that opportunity to come out of the shadows and tell people about it. I think one of the reasons a lot of people are against immigration reform, or they have anti-immigrant sentiment, is because they don't know who we are, right? There's all these stereotypes of us being criminals and being a threat to national security, but look at me. Like, what kind of a threat am I to this country? I love it like my country. This is all I know as home, and I want to give back to it. So last year, myself and a couple of other people that are either undocumented like myself or who have family members in this situation decided to come together and organize a group called the Aloha Dream Team. And we've been doing a lot of really great work, and we really want this to be a movement, right? We want to catch up to the mainland and to the immigration movement there, and we want the dreamers, or the people who came here as children, to step forward and stop fearing and just tell their stories and fight for something permanent. DACA and now DAPA is not a permanent solution. We need a comprehensive immigration reform that will address the broken system and fix it for future generations.